Hey everybody, what is going on? CerealOverdrive here, and today we are playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going out and trying to hunt these... Where are we? Oh, we are in the wrong place. Wow. Alright, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be trying to kill these Panelon mobs again. We're going to be trying to get that 500 kill point accomplishment or achievement or mission completed. To do that, we're going to be flying over to the other side of this little river here and killing them. So for those of you guys wondering, the reason I was headed north at first was because I didn't really check where I was. I just logged in, hit play, and got going. And it turns out that I was on the other side of the spawn point, basically. So they spawn, so these Panelons spawn like in between these two teleporters. So in between Panton Jungle and Minor Isles. So I was in between those two. I just went the wrong way, and now we're back on track and ready to rock and roll. So let's pick this up and start shooting. There we go. Gun out. Let's kill these things. Let's see if we can't get some good loot here, folks. We're going out, like I said, with 50 PEDs of ammo. For those of you guys who are wondering, I'm using an LR20. I've got an A203 amplifier, and I've got ghost armor. Slowly but surely, my skills are getting to the point where I'm almost ready to upgrade to that LR25. So that's going to be a big moment for me. I'm probably going to have to go back to Calypso to make that happen. In fact, when this LR20 is done, most likely I'm going to be headed back to Calypso. So one of the problems with Cryene is going on the auction, I've not managed to really find many guns here, right? So it's very hard for me to get my hands on any sort of guns or mining amplifiers or anything like that I usually like to use. So yeah, I'm sort of itching to get back to Calypso where I can actually have like a pretty decent chance of getting some of this stuff on auction and really sort of upping my gear game here. Because that's something I've been looking to do. Ooh, we got some Panelon hide. I don't think I've gotten this before. What does this look like? Let's check it out. Not much as far as markup goes, and it doesn't look like anything spectacular, so we'll just keep going here. Alright, so let's heal up first. Let's use that S10. I'm heavily using it, but that's always good. You're going to get a little bit more skills there, right? Like some healing skills. Those never hurt. And we're just going to keep taking on these level 20 sort of dominant Panelons. I think that's what they're called. See if we can't get that skill boost. Then we're going to head back to Calypso. I'm going to put on all my Christmas gear, and we're going to get to making some nice Christmas time, Christmassy themed videos, because I think it's just about that time of year. Now, I can't, for those of you guys who are used to this, right, usually I do like a drop fest, right, where I'll just go out with a bunch of cool stuff, like maybe, you know, like 50, 60, 100, 200 PEDs, and start dropping them all over sort of those newbie areas. It looks like that's not a thing that you can do anymore, so you can't actually like place things on the ground. I'm not sure why it's been disabled, but that's just like, you can't drop items anymore. So I can't really do those like old-fashioned like sort of drop party style Christmas videos, but we're gonna try and get some good stuff going. I think last year, I don't even know if I was able to upload it, but last year I did do some giveaways. So yeah, we're definitely gonna try and get some of that Christmas themed stuff going on, get some of those videos going. So you guys are hopefully gonna get some nice footage there, right? And it's always good. I feel like I love doing Christmas themed stuff because as a kid, I remember how big that was. Like, I don't know, like I'd be sitting there in school, like everything's getting all these decorations. I'm getting more and more excited. Then all of a sudden my favorite TV shows are doing Christmas themed shows, and it's like, oh yeah, this is happening. This is coming. It's so cool. And, you know, like I like to do my part, I guess you could say, just to spread that Christmas cheer and get everybody ready for the holidays. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's Christmas already. They're putting out decorations. It's too early for me, but honestly, I'm one of those people, like, I like seeing decorations, I like themes, so I try to do that a little bit with my videos, and hopefully it's appreciated, or at the best, you guys are just happily rolling your eyes rather than rolling your eyes in disgust, because I know some people really hate it when you do Christmas too early, but I think this is a good time to do it, right? So I think what we're going to do here, in this video, we're going to be getting those 500 kill points and seeing sort of what we get for that. And it looks like the bone and meat, I've been keeping an eye on it, right? So bone and meat is one of the, ooh, that's a level 71, let's avoid that. Remember, this is one of those spawns that's a little bit tricky. But But yeah, the bone and meat, I've been looking for that on auction on Cryene, and I just have not seen enough that I can actually make anything happen with that. So I'm going to hold off doing anything with the bone and meat or that challenge. I'm going to have to come back sometime in the next decade over here, 2020, and see if we can't reimagine this sort of missions and see if we can't come here maybe with a few extra guns and really like pump out some good stuff, because we just weren't able to make it happen this trip. I was hoping that I'd get to that level 1 at least, but I'm pretty sure at this point I'd run through my gun before I could even get it. And that's assuming I could somehow buy the bone and meat on auction, and I don't think that's going to happen either. So like, yeah, sometimes it's best to not cut your losses, because this isn't like a loss or anything, but just cut your time, right? Especially with these videos that I do and like where all my stuff's located for those videos. I need to get back to Calypso at some point so I can start taking advantage of those Christmas clothes and the Christmas decorations and all of that. And I don't know, I feel like it's about time. Also, I did just shoot that mob without checking the level. I've got to be careful because I know there's a level 71 somewhere in here, and those things are going to be dangerous for me. I shoot one of those, that's game over. CerealOverdrive is dead on arrival. But yeah, we're doing okay with this. I feel like we're not going to lose too much money. I don't think this is going to be a profitable run unless we hit a global or something like that. And I'd love to hit a global on Cryene because I don't think I've ever done that. So that'd be really cool to see. Like Arcadia, Rocktropia, I've gotten globals on, but I don't think any of the other planets I've ever globaled on. So it would sort of be cool to see that. I'm not even sure. I don't know what weapons these things give out. That's the interesting thing too. When you go to a different planet, they all have different gear. So when you go to some of these planets that are less visited, you do have the opportunity or chance to get some lesser seen, lesser known gear, which could be cool. And that just got me really excited there. Anytime I hear that, like, pew, that noise, I'm thinking, like, I got something big, and then, nah. It's just tearing up my gun, and I don't use tears, so that does not matter. So yeah, that's always nice. And you can hear a nice little siren going by back there. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I did it again. I shot without looking. This actually could cost me because this is a bigger mob, and he went downhill before coming at me, so I didn't get that, like, I didn't get a nice amount of shots into him before he could attack me, that's definitely not going to work in my advantage. We did get that crit right there, so I'm hoping that's going to help. You can see some of these guys, like, I have no problem with the level 20. Sometimes though, if they catch me at a bad time and I get a few like lacking like low end hits in there, it's not a good look for CerealOverdrive. But yeah, let's heal up a bit here. All right, we're good to go. Let's shoot without looking once again. Obviously, I've not learned my lesson. It sounds like someone got stabbed out there because I'm hearing more and more sirens. I don't know if my microphone's picking up on this, but that's never a good sign. I still remember like when there's like big like bombings and stuff like that. It doesn't happen that often, but then you hear really like anytime there's a threat like that, you won't just hear sirens. You'll hear like cop cars just flying by at full speed, and it's like, holy shit, something big happened. And I hear more and more sirens. Either that or someone like burnt popcorn. I don't know if you've ever, like, anyone who's lived in college has probably experienced that. Like, everybody goes off to college, it's their first time, like, they're cooking for themselves, they're doing everything on their own, and they're putting popcorn into the microwave for too long. The smoke alarm goes off, the smoke alarm triggers, like, a call to the police or the fire department, and next thing you know, like, you're running around in your dorm with a towel trying to get the smoke out the window, and, you know, fireman knocks on the door, and you gotta be like, I am so sorry. Or not knocks on the door, but you've got to go to someone in charge and be like, yeah, it was me. It was my fault. Thank God they didn't charge me. Like, that happened to me once. After that, I never burned popcorn again. But yeah, that happened once. It set the alarms off, but luckily, like, oh, that was a good loot. What do we have here? We've got, wow, 30 PED loot. And what I'm most interested in for this loot is we got some Arc Guardian Foot Guards. These don't seem to be that great. It looks like the cut protection's down. I'm not sure why. I thought the cut protection would be at full even though their condition's down. I didn't think that was actually a thing that could happen, but yeah, we got an item. That's pretty cool. Obviously, markup on that item and not too much. I'm probably going to bring these to Calypso, maybe give them out to an avatar or something like that. But that's cool. I always like to loot that stuff, honestly. Like, I get more enjoyment out of looting that stuff than I should. And it's like, if Mind Art did it too much, right? If they gave out too many guns, too much, like, junk, it wouldn't be exciting. But the fact that I so rarely loot it, I always get excited when I loot it, even though I know it's nothing big. And, like, you can see in here, my inventory is just littered with stuff that I looted like that. But, yeah, that was an exciting one. That was a nice one. And it interrupted my story about burning popcorn and having to, like, have the fire department come. Because, yeah, like, certain dorms, or at least where I lived, like, if the fire alarm went off, they had to call the fire department. So the fire department has to come and be like, what happened? And you're all embarrassed. And you're like, well, I burned the popcorn. And, they say, luckily your dorm has a popcorn protection policy, which means we don't charge you $10,000 for coming out to visit to check on this fire. And that's that. Thank God, if I got charged for that, it would not be good. My parents would kill me. That would be quite the bill that they'd receive. Like, it's like, not only do you have college tuition and the cost of raising a kid, but your kid actually set off a fire alarm, and now you got to pay for 3 big fire trucks to come out and 1 fireman to flip a switch to turn the alarm off with his, I don't know how they do it, special key or whatever they use. Yeah, that's not good. It's the price of college admission, I guess. College tuition and the cost of setting off 1 fire alarm. So that every parent should expect. But yeah, let's keep going with this. I don't think that story was really like a hit story. There's certain stories I've got in my life that I'd really love to do like animations for. It's just I don't think my channel is big enough to like joke. Yeah, you can see I'm doing some secret stuff there. I don't think my channel's like big enough to justify that. Like, I'd love to get someone to animate some of my stories because I do have some good ones. Like, like I could tell the story about going to Eastern Europe and meeting some dudes with the mob, because that was pretty cool. Or, like that, I do have some cool stories to tell, and like I would love to tell them, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it without the right like animation or something like that. Like, it just doesn't feel like something I can tell while I'm playing Entropia Universe. It feels like it should be more of like a standalone story, because there's a few good ones, right? Like, I even hesitate to tell them because it's like I can tease them, but then I'm never going to be able to tell them because I just don't. It's frustrating, And I didn't record any of this. Is like, so right now I'm trying to record like stuff because I'm doing another like channel where I just do like vlogs and blah 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 blah. And that hasn't taken off at all. That's not connected to CerealOverdrive. But then there's other stories that like I don't have that. And I'm like, man, that would be sort of cool if I could just on CerealOverdrive get like a nice little animated story that goes over like how I did this or how I did that or what happened when this happened or like being held up at gunpoint and stuff like that. Like, I think people would be interested in that. That's like something that's sort of like you don't want it to happen, but it's always interesting to hear those stories about like, just walking down the street at night and then out of nowhere like someone just says like, what the fuck are you doing? And turn around and you got a gun to your head and it's like, holy shit, how do you get out of this? What do you do? I mean, those are like crazy stories because yeah, I didn't actually grow up in Boston. For those of you guys wondering, I grew up in a city that's a little bit more dangerous than that. And Boston is like a fairly safe city, so like pretty much any city's more dangerous than that. But if you guys are from cities like in the U.S., usually, at least back when I grew up, it was some of the, like the worst areas, the neighborhoods that were like a little bit sketchier. And by sketchy, I mean like, there'd be like a couple homicides a month in them during the summer. But, then winter comes, it's super cold. None of those guys are out selling drugs. It's a little bit safer. And now all of a sudden when you're 17, it's the perfect place to go and party because they don't check IDs. But it turns out there are risks involved to that. So there's like some crazy stuff from that. And then, just going around Europe and stuff, like you meet some like crazy people when you're backpacking, right? There's like, I met like a mercenary once, and he's, he basically is like, oh yeah, I'm on leave, or not leave, that's what they'd be in the military, but basically he went on vacation to Eastern Europe just so he could like party, and that was his only goal. His goal is just to get fucked up and party, basically, and he's like, I need people to party with, like if you're willing to come with me, like I don't mind footing the bill for some drinks, right? And like being a young, impressionable kid, even now I do this still. someone's like, oh yeah, I'll pay for drinks, and they seem cool, and like they just want to hang out, and they're in your hostel. Sure, like I wanted to go out with people anyways to drink anyways. Like I don't care if you pay for it or not. Let's go out. It just turns out that in this case, when like we were doing rounds at first, and then turns out that when he meant he wants to like he'll pay for the drinks. He didn't mean he'll pay for the drinks because Eastern Europe drinks are cheap. Like who cares, right? He meant he'll pay for the best drinks in the bar, to the point where like 2 days in staying in this country, I knew like all sorts of crazy people, and it was like nuts. But that's like one of those stories, like to fully tell, I really need like some animations and stuff like that to go with it, because it's just like it's a crazy story. Maybe one day, like if I ever get to that point where I think like that would be viable. I'm not even looking to make like a profit on that stuff. Like that's just one of those stories. Like I want to put it out there into the world, but I want to be able to do it in a way that it's going to be like it's going to be fun, right? And I don't think me sitting here playing Entropia Universe and telling that story is going to be the way that I want to do it. So just a tease, I guess. I don't even know when that would come in, like what amount of subscribers you need to make that viable. I know it's more than what I've got, and I know what my videos make. I know what an animator costs, and I know that is not something I could do. Even if I took like 1 month's of, because I'd be willing to do that. Like if I took 1 month's worth of like YouTube earnings and put that into a video, like that's just, I'm not there yet, but hopefully I'll get there one day and we can tell some awesome travel stories, some awesome stories about just things going wrong, people going nuts, and living life, I guess, to the fullest, if you want to call it that. Living life to the stupidest, maybe. But yeah, like that's one of those things that like a long goal. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. I just sort of go off on subjects, but I don't know. I think that would be cool because I feel like I can tell a story decently enough that like people can somewhat picture it in their heads. Oh. And there we go. We're down. All right. We're going to have to spawn right off, drag our butts out here as fast as possible and get that kill. Let's do it. But yeah, like I feel like I can tell those stories, but just I want to like because sometimes it's like when you tell a story, right, you only want to tell it once. Like I don't want to be one of those people who has like 10 videos going over the same story. And I've only got so many good stories. Like let's be honest, I'm not out here doing this every day. Like it's just not possible, right? Like maybe it is for some people, but for me that's just not a reality of my life. So like, when I get these good stories to tell, I want to tell them in just the perfect format and make sure everything's just like right on spot. And interestingly enough, you guys will learn, anyone who's younger is going to learn this as you get older. Like the crazier the story, the more likely you're not going to be able to tell it, as like not be able to tell it, but have less of those events as you get older. Because honestly, like sometimes when you're young, like the situations you put yourself in without knowing the risks or knowing the situation, it's like just ridiculous. Like looking back, like my younger self, like some of the stuff I used to do, just being like, yeah, like what is the worst that could happen? And, now that I'm a little bit older and I've, like, lived through some of that, I'm like, the worst that could happen is you die. Like, no, actually, the worst that could happen is you get raped and then you die. Like, that is the worst case scenario, period. Like, maybe you get tortured. Maybe you meet a serial killer. Like, the worst that could happen is literally the worst that could happen. Like, it's as bad as it gets. Like, don't like, fuck around here, But then back then, I'm like, yeah, the worst thing that could happen is someone tries to fuck with me and I get put in jail for beating the shit out of them. And it's like, well, that's not how life works. Like, we're not living in an action movie here. Like, you're gonna lose 9 times out of 10 if you try to fight 2 people. Like, that's just the reality of it. At least I would lose, right? There's some of you guys out there that are probably like ex-Marines or ex-military. You know what you're doing. And you're good to go. I think lore space like military. Like, you know what you're doing, right? Like, good to go. Life is not good, but you can handle yourself. Me? No. I'm not that type of person. I know it. There's nothing wrong with that. We can't all be badasses in real life. I try, but I know what I am and I know what I'm not. Whew, that was a close one there. Almost got me. All right, so at this point we've converted some ammo here, just so we can sort of go over where we are in our hunt here. We've converted 37 PEDs worth of ammo, so I think what we're going to do is I'm going to heal up and I'm going to just keep going at this. I want to get these kill points done so I can actually give you guys sort of a nice little delivery. on this thing. We can get that mission done, and then we're gonna head back to Calypso. I'm gonna do some more of those like Codex missions and stuff like that on Cali, get into Christmas Mayhem, and get some of those guides out, because I'm really... So I don't know about, like, I don't know how people like it, but generally what I try to do is when I'm doing like a how-to guide, I'll try and get them, like the 2020 how-to guides, I want to get those out, like, done before 2020, because, like, truth be told, MindArk is not going to release something on me that's going to, like, completely change the game, okay? No offense, MindArk or anyone there, like, that's not what they should be doing, right? Like, we know from now, which is, it's like November, end of November, until like 22. Oh, we got a gun, folks. Look at this little badass pistol over here, I think. Or no, what is this? A new suit of weapons. Short range weapons have been developed with Turions. Long range. All right. We just looted a gun from your buddy. Do you really? Oh no, he does want to attack me. This is a big boy here. We're gonna have to go look at that gun again, because that was cool. I love it when I get to loot that stuff. Like, that's what I live for, looting those guns, man. Oh, that's so sweet. I know, like, some of you guys are looking at this and you're like, you're not even gonna make a profit off this run. I'm like, no. The profit is the gun. The profit's the gun. The fact that I looted a gun is so cool to me. I just love that. I love to see that. That's awesome. It's awesome. Especially because this Cryene, because I don't know all the guns they have here, and some of them are like rarer guns, like they're harder to find. So that's a big W for me. That's a win. This whole planet trip's been a win just because of that loot, probably, in my opinion. But let's check this out, and I can bring this back to Calypso to sell, so that's awesome too. Melee weapons, so it's telling you how these weapons have been developed. So let's check out the stats on this gun. So it's a 15.9 PED gun. It's got 110% markup, so not too much markup on it. It's a level 8 gun. Efficiency's 57. That's not terrible. It's a laser gun. 8.5 to 17 damage. It's nothing spectacular, but honestly, I just like the fact that I was able to loot it. That's enough. That's enough for me. The fact that I was able to loot a gun, the fact that I've got a new gun to play around with, that's just like so cool. We got some armor and a gun in this run. That's a win. That's a win. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell, like, if you guys can tell, but I'm excited about that. Not in like the over the top like YouTuber excited. Like, I don't know. Some of these like YouTubers, like I used to watch a lot of car YouTubers, and every time they see a new car, they're like, oh, which, you know, I get it. Like, they've got to display emotion, but it's like, dude, last video you were driving a Bugatti. You just saw like a standard stock Porsche. Like, does that really excite you? And for those of you guys who don't like live in city, like in Boston, it's not that uncommon to see a Porsche. Like, if I lost my breath every time I saw a Porsche, at some point I died just because too many of them drove by me all at once. You know, you should have a different reaction to a Bugatti and a Porsche, right? And like, I get that, but like, I don't loot these guns all the time, so like, the reaction is genuine. I'm not like trying to go over the top with it or anything like that. I'm not gonna back up here because I just noticed a red dot behind me. Hopefully it's a good decision. Let's see if this Guardian like gets the best of me here though, because I don't know exactly how much damage they're gonna do. So there is always that risk. And look at this in the background over here. We got some nice little Minecraft graphics. The tree's been rendered back a little bit. Ooh, level 71. That thing, look at that thing just go. They're big boys, but they really know how to run. Really know how to run. Now YouTube's gonna ban me for fat shaming animated monster. Nah, they wouldn't ban me for that, I hope. Wasn't there someone that happened to, though? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe I should shut up about this one. No, I really don't think that would happen. I don't know. Let's not test that theory out. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going, folks. In Hammer we trust. I'm curious what this is going to give me, too. I'm not even sure if this quest is going to give me anything. I just sort of took it randomly and decided, like, this is what we're doing, and, you know, it's what we're doing. I don't know how you guys do it. Like, sometimes with these quests and stuff like that, I'll just, you know, I pick something up, and that's what we're doing. Now with the codex system that Emma is like implementing, it's gotten a lot easier because basically killing anything will give you a quest, which is very cool. I'm hoping that they'll do the same thing with mining. Oh boy, this guy hit me hard. He did not like my previous comments about his brother or sister or whatever being a bigger boy. Oh man, look at this. This thing came in hard. Oh my. Level 20. Level 20 mob, and he came in hard right there. He hit me with 60, 70, 50 damage. Like, that is... He was going nuts. There's nothing I can do about that. And I know you guys are like, I could get better armor. That is true, but the thing with Cryene is I'm not out here enough to really warrant getting better armor. If I was going to come out here and, like, specialize in a mob, like, some people do that. If you, like, find something that's high markup on a planet that's not so commonly visited, you can actually come out and get some, like, really good loot just by, like, focusing on that, especially if it's something you can bring back. So, like, if... why is it... It's already being... Okay, we created a waypoint. So, for instance, like, if this gun right here, let's say this, 15 PED gun was giving me 200% markup or something crazy, it might be worth it, honestly, to come out here, just grind through the mobs, get a bunch of, like, guns that have high markup on them, and then from there, just bring them all back to Calypso every month, put them on auction, and then come back here, and you can make a day of it, right? You make a career of it. And then, then you're good to go, right? Then you want to get the armor, get everything that you need to properly do this mob, because every time I die, every time I heal, that's a lot worse than if I had the armor. But in my case, because I'm not out here all the time, it doesn't really make sense for me to get armor just specifically for any one mob on Cryene. And I think that's, to be honest, I'm getting the feeling that the way this works is based on the planets you're on, like, you're going to find, like, different sort of mobs have, like, different... what would you call it? Different types of mobs, right? Like, on Arcadia, I feel like mobs might be focused a little more towards, like, one type of damage, on Calypso towards another, on Cryene towards another, and all my gear is based towards, like, fighting Calypso mobs. So on Calypso, I can do some of these higher level mobs, whereas when I come to Cryene or Arcadia or something like that, I just don't have the stuff that it takes, and I'm not going to put the gear in, because I know some of you, there's the other thing, some of you guys said, like, I've talked to a few of you about this. Everybody thinks, like, if I just started depositing, I could become, like, the next big, like, Entropian YouTuber and make back all my money, and life will be great, and I'm going to be a multi-millionaire, and whatever, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe some dude's going to do it, and I'm going to be proven wrong, but I don't think that by putting, like, $10,000 into Entropia Universe, I could become the next, like, YouTube sensation like PewDiePie. I just don't think that the crowd's there, and I don't think you can grow it like that, specifically because I know what I put into these hunts, and I know how many views I get, and then I've seen other players who will put in 200 USD a hunt when they're recording them, and I see what they get back, and I'm like, I just don't, I don't know, maybe I'm short-sighted, right? That's 100% possible, but I just don't see the returns matching what you're putting in. Because some people, like, that does happen with some games, right? Like, if you're playing Rust or Fortnite or something like that, just by changing up your skins and maybe getting a new skin every now and then, like, people sort of be drawn to it a little bit more, and it does pay off. But with Entropia, you're paying per hunt or per video. So there's, like, whereas most gaming channels, there's no direct cost for creating a video. With Entropia, there definitely is a direct cost for making these videos. And because of that, like, I don't think just amping up the video will get you more views. I mean, you can just look at some of my runs. Like, I have done 50 USD, 100 USD runs, and you can look at the returns I get on them, and then you can look at the views. And while the views are a little bit higher, it doesn't equal out. So yeah, it is what it is. When I say, like, I'm doing a 50 PED run or a 100 PED run, I'm not trying to impress anyone with the amount of money there. I'm just telling them what I'm doing because I try to be forward about that stuff. I try not, I don't want people coming in thinking I'm going to spend 5,000 PEDs and then they're disappointed that I'm not. But I don't know. That's what I do. I know some of you guys like it, some of you guys don't. It is what it is. Some of you guys want me to do Rust. Some of you guys want me to do the Outer Worlds now. Like, I just do what I do, and it is what it is. But yeah, none of those games, honestly, if people really do want me to go pro, the way to go pro isn't by doing Entropia Universe content. If I was gonna try and do, oh my god, that's not the mob I wanted to attack. That's not what I was pointing at. But thank you, Mondark, for assuming that I wanted to kill this big mob that's probably gonna kill me. But yeah, if I wanted to become, like, a professional YouTuber, and I've looked at the numbers enough to actually, like, be fairly confident of what I'm saying, I would focus on a game with a few more viewers, but not a ton of viewers. Like, I wouldn't do Fortnite, right? Because I feel like Fortnite's an oversaturated niche. That's how you say it. I'm competing with, like, Ninja and all these really, really good players, and I'm just not going to be the best player in that game. even commentary-wise, I don't think I'd be the best commentary person for Fortnite because the level of skill I'd need, just the level of focus I'd need just when I'm playing is beyond what I could do. You know, with Entropia, I can do it, right? If I'm doing something like Rust, that's a little bit easier, but there's still some like really good storytellers, really good people playing it. But if I'm doing... Actually, I'm not going to pick a game because there's probably someone out there doing it better than I could do it, but like I'd do something a little bit smaller, a little bit less competitive, where maybe I could somehow work with the guy who's the best out there. And I don't know, I think that would be the way to go. So, what am I saying? Yeah, basically, if I wanted to go pro, I would not do it through Entropia, for those of you guys who are wondering, because some of you guys have wondered, like, why I don't try doing it. If I wanted to make YouTube a full-time career, yeah. If I could live off of, I don't know, $5 a day, $10 a day, I might be able to make a go of it with Entropia if we're being fully transparent, fully honest. If you wanted to live off 100 USD a day, like, I couldn't do it, but if I wanted to, again, maybe if I really got good at Entropia and then I could do this like streaming and I could do YouTube, I could make it happen if I'm spending 8 hours a day doing it like a full-time job. But again, like, that's just not where I'm at. So yeah, that's why I don't do that. But yeah, like if you do a game like if you do a game like Rust or something like that, you can get a lot more exponential growth from some good videos. Anyways, enough of that. I don't know if anyone cares about that stuff. Sometimes I enjoy it when YouTubers talk about that, so I'm like, I might as well give my 10 cents because people give me their 2 cents, and I don't know why I'm worth 10 cents. Not to demean anyone. I'm just saying what I don't know. All right, let's talk to this guy. I'm gonna stop rambling. What do we get? We completed. Whoa, hold up, you're all done. Great work. Here's the skills. All right, so you got our skills. Did I take the... Yeah, I took rank 2, didn't I? No, I didn't. All right, let's take rank 2. So now we need 1,000 kill points. I'm not going to be getting this one, but let's check it out. Do we get any good skills? Professional increase. Level 9 swordsman. Not bad, not bad, not bad. All right. So that's where we're at with that. We're a level 9 swordsman. I don't really know what skills we got for... Does it say up here? Let's check. Oh, yeah, here we go. Did we... Doesn't look like we got too much. Yeah, I don't know what skills we got, but wait. Oh, there we go. 54.5238 experience in combat reflexes. Actually, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'll take it. Yeah, let's total everything up and then let's end the video because we're at 32 minutes and I don't know if you guys can listen to me talk anymore. I'm getting bored. Not really, but you guys are probably getting bored. So let's end it here. So let's see where we're at. Totally, we honestly went out with 50 PEDs. Yeah, we went out with 50 PEDs worth of stuff. We're coming back. We're coming back in profit, right? Like we're at 95 PEDs, and I haven't even added in the ammo. If we add in the ammo, that's another 13. So we're coming back 108 PEDs worth of loot. I went out with, I said 50 PEDs, it was actually 52 PEDs. So I'm making 56 PEDs worth of profit. Let's throw this stuff in the repair terminal and see where we're at total. 56. Yeah, so we're looking at, what is this? About 35 PEDs worth of profit. Not too bad for the run that we did. Honestly, that's way better than I ever expected, and I'm happy to see that. But I think that is it for my time on Cryene. We're going to be headed back to Calypso, and the next video is going to be from there. So thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this short but nicely memorable trip to Cryene, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.